Moonfox ASMR. Hi guys. I got my hair cut a couple days ago and it just looks so much better. I haven't ever really been able to grow long hair. So when it gets a little bit past this point, it does start looking a little bit stringy. But actually, at my hair appointment, I was talking to my stylist about possibly getting some extensions. So I think I might do that. I would probably get the 20 inches. So they would go like down below the girls, which I think would look really nice, and it would be kind of fun to try having long hair for a while. The one thing I'm not sure of though is if I want to stay with the black hair or maybe go back to blonde or maybe like a chocolatey brown or, you know, any combination of highlights or balayage, I think it is. Yeah, if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I'm pretty much open to any color. But anyway, a funny thing happened after my appointment, and I just want to do a little story time about that. I do have some chicken lettuce wraps from Lazy Dog. Here's the chicken, it looks so good. I love their chicken lettuce wraps. It's still in the box here. Here's the lettuce. And there are some pickled veggies in there. Deliciousness. And this is like a hoisin sauce. So good. I used to be addicted to Yard House chicken lettuce wraps. They're amazing. I used to work at Yard House years ago. I worked at a few different locations, but unfortunately there is not a Yard House by me now. There is a Lazy Dog though, so I have gotten to try a bunch of their stuff, and these chicken lettuce wraps are just so good. Alright, so let's get one of these loaded. Just take a little one here. And then I'll just take a little bit because I'm not sure how much I can fit in my mouth. Okay. little bit of the sauce. Okay, let's give it a try. Mm-hmm. Those are so good. The one thing that I did like about the Yard House ones a little more is that they give you 3 different sauces on the side. Let's see if I can remember. Thai peanut, firecracker, and sweet chili, I think. I think those are the sauces. Yeah, if I was actually working there and I didn't know that, I'd be in big trouble. So, sorry for anyone that works there. Please don't write me up. Although I did get a secret shopper one time, and I got like a 99. So, booyah. Yeah, they have all the different kinds of sauces, and this hoisin sauce is really good from Lazy Dog. But you know, variety's nice too. I always have to dance when I eat. It's the attitude leaving my body. Tried to be cute and I got lipstick all over my hand. Don't tell. Alright, let's start the story time. So, I told you guys a couple days ago I went to get my hair did, and everything was great. My hairdresser's awesome. I leave my appointment and I go back to my car, get in my car. You know, when you just want to hang out for a minute and like look at your phone, or you know, listen to the radio, or you know, see what's coming up on your schedule. But basically, you don't take off right away. You just kind of sit there. While I was doing that, I was looking at my phone, and my engine was not even turned on. I was just sitting there. And I had pulled forward, so I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know, when you're parking in straight spaces and, you know, there's 2, and the cars would usually be facing each other. But when I had parked, the one in front of me was open, so I just pulled forward so I could pull out easier when I left. So I was sitting in my car, and then this family in a big van, they come into park on my right. So they pull in, and I just know, I was like, I see a bunch of kids in there, you know, the kids are gonna swing their door open, and drama. So I'm just sitting there kind of waiting for it to happen, watching. All the kids get out, the family gets out, super respectful. They did not bang my car. I was very surprised because, you know, they were little kids, like, you know, 6 to 10. So they go into, I think it was like AAA. They walk away. I'm still like chilling on my phone for a few more minutes. Then this girl comes and she parks on my left. And it's just her. She pulls in, and as she is pulling in, she looks up and we make eye contact. So she knows I'm sitting in my car. And I'm like, that's good, because, you know, maybe she'll be a little more careful when she opens her door. And for the record, like, my car is not super fancy or super expensive, but it is the first new car that I've ever had in my life. I bought it. It's in my name. I saw it. I like it. I wanted it. I got it. I'm smart. So that happened. And I'm just, I have had it for almost 2 years now, but still, I'm making the payments and keeping it, clean and nice, and I like it. If I was in my old junker or, a used car that I hadn't invested much in, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be worried. I'd be like, whatever. But anyway, so this girl pulling in beside me, we make eye contact, and I'm like, okay, that's good. She knows I'm here. She'll be extra careful. Cool. Parks. She opens the door like a little bit, gathering her stuff. All of the sudden, her door slams into my car. I don't know if she accidentally fell on it or pushed it or what. All I know is I'm there on my phone and it's like my car rattles. And I'm like, how did I know this was going to happen today? This is why I don't like to go out. It's way too people-y outside of my house. If you don't know, I do work from home for a full-time 9 to 5 as well. I am lucky enough to be able to do that in my living room, and that's just fine with me. I do consider myself a very introverted person, and socializing does take a lot out of me. I can be, I am a very kind person, but kind of putting on that, I don't want to say fake, but super friendly persona does take a lot out of me when I'm outside the house, so I don't go out a lot. But anyway, I had this feeling it was going to happen, and I'm just thinking, this family over here with 10 million kids can all get out of their clown car just fine, and you, not even just accidentally like a tap, it was like bam. So she looks at me and goes, oh, sorry, and then starts walking away. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Not today, Satan. So I get out of my car just to see what the damage is. Maybe it's really nothing. Maybe I'm overthinking it or what, but either way, I need to see. And so I get out. There is a pretty sizable dent with a chunk of paint taken out of the ridge on the side of my car, and a scratch above it as well. And I will put a picture somewhere. And so right away I go out in front and I see the girl walking. I'm like, excuse me, there's a dent in my car from your door. And she's like, oh. And that's all she said, oh. And she kind of pauses, and I was like, can I get your information? And she's like, okay. So she starts walking back, and I'm taking pictures of the dent and her license plate, and we end up exchanging information. That was hot, excuse me. She barely says a word. She's just like, Come to find out, she's 17, and her parents are on her insurance, or I guess her parents are the insured, but she's on their insurance, so she gives me that information. And she's just like, okay, and then walks into the store, which, yeah, it was an Ulta, so I guess she had to go buy some makeup or something. And so I'm like texting people, like, what do I do? Like, I've never been in this situation before where I've actually been there when the person dinged my car, you know. Most of us have those stories where we come out and see a little bit or a lot of bit of damage, and we're just kind of like, but this actually happened, and I was there, so like, what do I do? And I tried to call the police, and not to, like, you know, cause drama, but because I was reading online that you need to make a report and, you know, cover all your bases, CYA and all that stuff. And so I called the non-emergency line, and the lady says, oh, you know, we can't come take your report because, first of all, you're on private property, and second of all, neither of you were actually moving, like the actual car wasn't rolling, so it's not a moving violation. And I'm like, okay, this stinks. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out what to do. After about 30 minutes, the girl comes back and she's like, yeah, I need to take pictures of your car too, do you mind? And I was like, go for it. I was just kind of over her and her attitude, and just like, clearly she was in the wrong. There was no way that she could have even lied, even if she had tried to say that I hit her. Just the nature of the damage, like, excuse me, like, I was right behind my driver's side door, and then I took a picture of the side of the edge of her door, where there was actually my chunk of paint still stuck to the corner. So yeah, no remorse, nothing from her except for that very insincere, oh sorry, in the beginning. Redonkulous. Anyway, so I make an appointment the next day, and I take my car to an independent, like, body shop for an estimate. I can't help you guys. So good. Guy's super nice. You know, does the estimate right in front of me, explains everything that they would have to do and the cost for every little thing, types it up for me. And now that you guys have seen what it looks like, I want you to guess how much the estimate was for to repair it. $1,700. $1,700 because it's not just the paint, it's a big dent in the ridge on the side, so that would need to get fixed, and also because of the proximity to the front door, something about they'd have to paint more, all that good stuff. So he explained it in detail. Those are the main points that I remember about why it's so expensive, plus all the labor hours. Oh, and my car has a bunch of electronic stuff running through the sides, so apparently they would have to disable or enable, or, you know, make sure all that stuff is still good after, you know, they're working around in there. Yeah, $1,700. So I call the insurance company, her insurance company, and she says, oh, I get a claims adjuster, kind of explain what happened, and he gives me an email to send pictures and stuff like that, and I send the estimate that I got from the independent shop, and he says, you know, thank you very much. Your claims worker lady is so and so, and she'll be in touch. So then about 3 hours later, because this all happened early in the morning, or actually late morning, and then rest of it early afternoon, I'm actually in the bath, and the claims lady calls me, and I'm like, oh crap, you know, I don't want to get out of the bath because I'll miss the call, but you know, I need to talk to this lady now. So I answer the phone, and I'm just trying to hold so still so she can't hear the water sloshing around, like holding so still. And she's like, yeah, it's super simple. What we would do is we would just have you send in some pictures, and then our, you know, claims or damage estimator, claims estimator would assess it, and we would send you a quote, and then we'd send you a check, and it's so easy peasy simple. And I was like, okay, that sounds a little bit biased. I asked her about my estimate, and she's like, oh, well, those independent shops always overestimate, blah, blah, blah. And I could have gotten so snarky with her, but it's like, that is possible. I mean, I'm not saying that's not, but one thing I do know is your guys working for your company are going to underestimate because it's in your best interest for them to do that. So that's not right. And she just kind of got all defensive, and I think I kind of, you know, I insinuated that we had gotten, you know, a quote, and she's like, you know, anyway, so she sends me a link to take pictures, and at this point it was sunset, so it was getting dark, so I decided to wait until today when the sun was out to take the pictures again. And sorry guys, I don't remember exactly where I was at in the story. I had to go do a thing at the place. One thing I did want to mention that I forgot earlier was that so when I went to get my estimate at the shop, I showed the guy the other party's insurance information, of course, and he said that the company is like a high risk company. So I don't know if this chick is like going around hitting a bunch of people, or maybe it's just because of her age or what. But he's like, yeah, a little patience might do you well, and you know, they just don't have the funds that like a bigger company would. So it can be a little bit harder to get, you know, claims out of them and money and stuff. So I'm like, oh great, you know, this should be awesome. The other thing was when I was first talking to her insurance company, I was reading the names off of the insurance paper that I took a picture of and her license, and the guy said that on their policy, they all have the same last name, but the daughter's mom's and dad's last name were all spelled differently for each of them on the policy. It's just like, this insurance company does not have their stuff together. This is gonna be a nightmare. And so yeah, let's see, where was I? So, oh yeah, I think I had just told you my guy quoted $1,700. Insane. I never would have thought, but just because of the nature and the location of the damage, that's what it was. So I'm talking to this lady. She says, easy breezy, we will estimate it ourselves and then send you a check and you can be on your way. And I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about that, and I'll be sending you my estimate too and pictures. And she's like, okay. So I send them all the pictures, and you have to do it through this little link that they send you to their own app, which is, as someone who has studied web development and software engineering, I was not impressed. It kept bugging out. It would let me take a picture. You had to take all the pictures in order, how it was asking you. And it kept glitching. Let me tell you, it was definitely a bug and not a feature for the whole thing. The whole thing was a bug. This company is not well funded. So that was a nightmare, and I had to take time from my regular job to get that done. And I've been so frustrated this whole time. So this afternoon, shortly after I'd finally gotten their silly little app to accept all my pictures, I get a quote from their estimator who had only seen the pictures and nothing else. So they quoted, I think, 1,050. Ridiculous. Now, if I hadn't gone to this other place first, I would have probably thought that that would do it. But because I went to this other place and the gentleman explained to me each step and the necessity of each part of the process, and factoring in the labor, hours, time for everything, I would have thought before, 1,000 was gonna do it, paint, whatever. But now that I know the cost, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that they lowballed. Honestly, I was worried that they were going to come back and say, $300, buff it out. But they didn't. They gave a little, or they're offering a little more than that. And it's just super frustrating because, it's not like a $200 discrepancy, it's $700. And so I'm like, I don't agree with this. What do I do? And they said that the process, oh, hi, baby. Handsome boy. His name is Handsome because he's a tuxedo cat. The process is to, get the car going with the shop, and then if they need more money than what their insurance company is offering, then the shop itself can submit a claim and kind of fight it out with them. And if they have to have someone come out and look at the car in person, and then someone from the shop can kind of explain to them why things cost what they do, because obviously they don't know, then they'll do that. And I really like the shop that I'm working with. I wish I could tell you guys, but I don't want to give away too much of my location. So now I just have to go in and take my car and just have that all done. really frustrating, and I think that I'm most annoyed, besides like the actual damage at I think I'm most annoyed at her reaction, because if I had done that, and oh yeah, and her insurance company, when I called, or when she called me, actually, she's like, oh yeah, my insured already called, the wind blew her door into you. And I'm like, no, nice try, but no, she did it. Like, there might have been a little breeze, but not enough to go bam. Especially not when the cars are like right next to each other. Yeah, I'm most disappointed in just her attitude towards the whole thing. If I had done that and I made a mistake, I would have genuinely apologized, said, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, let's exchange information, let's get it worked out, I'm sorry. Now, I have heard that people say, don't admit fault when you're in an accident. And I could see that in some situations, but me sitting there parked and her opening her door into me, I don't think that's one of those things where it's gonna save you, like, unless you want to just try to lie and you want to go about it that way and just be that kind of person. But if I had accidentally opened my door into someone, I would have, apologized and been nice about it, not just at first said, oh, sorry, and tried to walk away, not even like looking to see what I had done. Because, I felt it, and I know she felt it too. Like, she probably had to yank her door back out of my paint. That's how deep the gash was. Yeah, and then when we were exchanging information, not a word, just, I guess barely a word, just kind of like, here, oh. I know you're embarrassed, and it sucks, and, like, I would be embarrassed too, but don't be, like, a little brat about it. I was not mean. I definitely was assertive. I was like, excuse me, hi, damage, we were both there, like, right there when it happened, come back, but I was not, yelling, I was not rude, excuse me. I think when she even, come to think of it, when it happened, and I think I just looked at her, because I was just like, what? Did that really just happen? And she goes, oh, sorry. And I think I was just in such shock, I didn't even say anything. I watched her walk away, and then that's when I got out and, excuse me. She comes back, oh. Yeah, so can we exchange information? That was hard, by the way. Yeah, like, there are so many other, like, Karens and Kyles out there. Sorry if you're a Karen or a Kyle, but, who would have flown off the handle, and I just think that obviously I wasn't happy, but I was not rude, and she just did not take any responsibility other than the first initial, sorry. And I'm just like, it's cliche, but it's like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, It's like a teachable moment. I wanted to be like, okay? Anything else you want to say? You know, accidents happen, but yeah. So, I actually just a little bit ago got a text on my phone that my disbursement has been approved. I guess they're not going to debate me or listen to anything else about how I feel that their amount is incorrect. My shop is going to have to fight with them for the extra money to repair the car. And yeah, just so stressful. I really don't like peopling. I've had to people way more than I would have liked to in the last 3 days. Yeah. But anyway, I'm back with you guys now. And if I've been distant on my OnlyFans or here, now you guys know why. I've been kind of like stressing and laying low. Sorry, rambling. So, anyway, that's my life, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any thoughts on if I should change my hair color before I do my extensions, let me know. I put dry shampoo in it, that's why it looks all weird at the roots. It looks like frizzy, but it's really not. It's just the dry shampoo. Yeah, if you have any ideas on hair color or you know what I should do, it is an investment. It's gonna be about $1,000 to have them put in, including the hair. So, and I've heard that's about normal for, you know, good hair and good installation. This lady that I go to, she actually teaches hairdressing classes, so I know that she's gonna do a really good job. And the whole time she was cutting my hair, she was educating me on hair extensions and wigs and stuff like that. And you know, if I wanted to try wigs and what I should do with that and how to make them look real. But she's awesome. So I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna do it. And yeah, yes. All right, let me guys know what you think. I'm gonna stop being awkward and well, I take that back. I'm gonna stop being awkward in front of the camera and go be awkward